Good afternoon and welcome. My guest was my sister, Alana. She currently lives in England, where she runs the Wild Society, a small flower business focused on sustainability and locally sourced flowers. I spoke with her over Zoom about her career journey, from working initially in fashion to eventually running her own business, and how her values and attitudes towards her career have evolved over time. When I spoke to Alana, what really stood out was how much her career changed direction over time. After finishing her fashion degree, she moved to Australia and started at Ted Baker, literally on the shop floor. And soon after, she worked her way up fast, becoming a visual merchandising manager and then an area manager. After a few years, she decided to move back to England and took on a new role as operations manager at Camden Markets. She told me that this was the most rewarding job that she's ever had. She loved being surrounded by creative people, helping small business owners improve their business and feeling part of a real community. When she was in university, however, she gave herself the goal of becoming a Fortune 500 CEO, which led her to keep pushing herself to take on bigger roles. She was then poached by an agency to join a startup, and later an American company called Fanatics. But both experiences were really tough. She faced burnout, sexism, and a culture that didn't match her values. She only lasted around 6 months in each of these roles, and before she was about to leave her last one, the COVID-19 pandemic hit England, and she was made redundant. Then came a massive moment in her career. While working at her friend's pub pouring pints, she was offered a job from Formula One that would have made her a COO. This involved moving to Dubai for the foreseeable future. It was everything that she thought she'd wanted since she was a teenager. But instead of excitement, she felt complete panic. That was when she realized that she didn't want to climb that ladder anymore. After declining that offer, she took a step back and started something small, a sustainable flower business called the Wild Society. What began as an experiment during an online course quickly became her passion, a reflection of who she really is. When Alana talked about the moment that she was offered the Formula One job, I could tell it was still a really defining memory for her. For years, she'd been working toward this exact goal, becoming a top executive, climbing the corporate ladder, and proving herself in what is often a very male dominated space. But when the offer actually came through, instead of feeling proud or excited, she said that she just froze. It completely threw her. Everything that she'd worked for suddenly didn't feel right anymore. She stated that I realized I didn't want that life and that I saw the offer and I kind of had a breakdown about it. That realization pushed her into a bit of an identity crisis, but it also created space for something new. During lockdown, she started a small project for a course, a mock flower business, and ended up turning it into the Wild Society. What shocked me most was how she talked about the joy of creating something that actually reflected her values: sustainability, creativity, and community. That shift from chasing a title to chasing something meaningful felt like such a powerful turning point in her story. When I asked Alana what she wants for the future, her answer really reflected the change in perspective over the years. She said she has no interest in scaling the Wild Society into something massive or corporate. Instead, she wants to grow slowly, sustainably, and in a way that keeps her more connected to the work that she loves. Her goal now is to build stronger relationships with other small growers and local suppliers across the UK. She wants her business to stay ethical, community based, and environmentally responsible. For her, success is less about expansion or money anymore. It's about balance, creativity, and the people that she works with. Even though she's still as busy as she was at previous jobs, if not more, she said that the biggest change is how much purpose she feels in her work. That's what keeps her going. When I reflected on Alana's story through the idea of outsider listening, I tried to focus on the words and moments that really stayed with me. One that stood out most was when she said, "I realized I didn't want that life." It was such a simple sentence, but it carried so much weight. It marked the moment she completely re- redefined what success meant for her. Outside of listening is about hearing these expressions and noticing why they resonate with us. For me, that exact moment connected to my own worries about where I'm heading in my career. It made me think about how often we chase ideas that sound impressive rather than ones that actually feel right. Listening closely to her story reminded me that success isn't a straight path. It's about finding spaces that align with who we are and what we value. By witnessing her experiences, I found myself thinking more deeply about what fulfillment might look like in my own career. To finish, I want to share one thing Alana said that really stuck with me. Nothing is worth more than a job that you love. I think this summed up everything her journey represents. That success isn't about the title, but about finding meaning in what you do every day. And I think that's what I'll take away most from this interview. Thank you for listening.